Mic test, 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 test. Music do be loud. Come on. There you go. There you go. This should be okay. Shouldn't be overpowering my goddamn voice. Okay. Let's start off the Reddit. Nice. February. I said February. I hate that I got kicked off of the usual subreddit because it's not technically my face that's showing. I'm like, what? But I'm on there, bitch. Look. They're like, no, it can't be a cartoon. It has to be your face. I'm like, okay. Give me another subreddit I can stream to. It's going to be this one. Oh, I need to move my damn self. Where's my camera? Where did I put my camera? Yeah, the place that says me cam. I'm gonna put it here. All right, both of them. We're live on both of them places. Let's send this out. Let's hide this. I said hide this. This. Close this. I need to be monitoring this. This needs to go. I want a pin on top function for OBS as well as YouTube chat. All right, everything's. Wait, I need to hide something. Cola cam. There we go. Welcome, one and all, to This Week in Comics and Manga, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in the comics and manga we read in this past week. It's weird on Thursday, but hey, all comics come out on Wednesday. Not all comics, but you know, the last bit of comics come out on Wednesday. It takes some time to read them and, you know, set my mind up on what I want to talk about. Because if it's just garbage that's coming out this week, I'd rather just not stream and not talk about it. It gets me when I just roast things without having anything to enjoy. But thanks to the Shonen Jump app, there's plenty me to enjoy. And we're going to start off with the first thing I'm very mid on is Trojan X. Wow, this is very loud. What can I do to this music that is not playing through Reddit? Technical difficulties. I'm a professional, I promise. Well, there's not gonna be any music on that, or I would just have to add it again. Audio. Okay, now it's playing. Well, okay, the Reddit thing. Yo, Reddit, our pen. Why do I have to keep adding stupid music audio sources almost every bloody time I start this? This is stupid. Anyway, Trojan X. This past week's issue was slow. It was actually slow. It was just Ailey adjusting to our life at the training center and to school in Tokyo, still being like, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I see myself as, you know, a Trojan who helps people and so on and so forth. And that's about it. It's very slow. I love the concept of Trojan X. I mean, it's basically superheroes. It's mutants, it's X-Men. But it's taking its goddamn time, and I don't know if this is Sui Ishida's storytelling style of being slow. But if this continues to be this slow, I might drop it. I don't like series that are too slow, that are supposed to be action-packed. Like this is a supernatural battle manga. It shouldn't be this goddamn slow so often. But hopefully it picks back up. Moving on to our next item, and if I can find, okay. This slideshow and this slideshow is then. Everybody and their goddamn mother should be reading Dandadan. Dandadan is fucking awesome. It's my favorite newcomer manga. I love the art style, I love the designs, I love the characters. In this week's issue, or chapter, however you want to call it, it doesn't, episode, it's not a volume, but episode, chapter, issue, that, I don't fucking care. Call it whatever floats your goat. We had a very fast pace between Okurun, between Ted-chan, or Ghost, I keep forgetting his like actual name, because Momo won't let him use his real name because she faints every time he does. Anyway, we had a fight between him and his ghost granny form and the now possessed Gigi, and dude, the art is fantastic. I fucking love this series. It's a extremely fast-paced fight with the art to boot, and can we say there was some character growth here for Okurun? Not necessarily, because he was always been like this. Although he did show his you made 3 mistakes. One is you heard Momo-chan. The second is you defiled Gigi because he wouldn't hurt her and he'd never hurt her. And third, you pissed me off. Okurun, whose name I can't remember, was something with a K, carries the name of a action hero within the manga's lore. It's probably within Japan as well. So him being like this Clint Eastwood badass whenever he's in his Ghost Rider form is hilarious to see, especially compared to his very usual and sometimes annoying typical shonen MC character of whoa, woman next to me. I hope he gains confidence, although the romance here in this manga is better. A lot better than what I've seen. There isn't any misunderstandings that like they both kind of like each other, but they're both too young and stupid to properly express it and go after it, especially fucking Okurun being a shonen protagonist. He's got a fuck from the get-go. But overall, this is a hard, throbbing, veiny recommend. If there is one series you're going to pick up as a new thing to read, let it be Dandadan. You will thank me later. It's fucking awesome. Think of High School Supernatural, but not only with monsters, but with aliens as well. It's fucking awesome, I promise. Next on our list is Diamond in the Rough. We're gonna be reusing this because they don't come out with a new cover every issue. I'm just gonna use the original art, the original promo art. And boy, this issue was Cole's issue, or this chapter was Cole's chapter. Like, that little lady can fucking fight. And the art is all like, dude, these new manga that are coming out have this old school pen and ink hatching style that just jerks me off real good. I fucking love it. But this is Cole's issue. This is Cole being an absolute fucking badass of a lady, kicking all kinds of butt. And getting her rematch against, oh my god, the horn girl with the giant tits. Keep forgetting her name. But here's the thing though, it seems to me that this manga is coming to an end because this looks like to be the big final fight. Because they're going against the big bad who turned Kai's parents to stone from the get-go. And I'm like, ooh. And I said it last week that it got taken out because I was on the U show and they don't allow VTubers there. Anyway. It looks to be a 1-volume series unless there's more afterwards. There's another a bigger, better big bad that shows up. But I wouldn't mind it. The story is fine. It gets a little bit text heavy when there's explanation of the power system because it can be dense. No pun intended, because it's forged around gemstones, their properties and how everyone can use them differently. I wouldn't be upset if it was a 1-volume series, but I just want to see more. I love this art. The art is what sold it to me because I can just gloss over it being word heavy at times if what I see on the page is also appealing. Something American comics should fucking learn how to do, or relearn, because they used to know this. Now they don't. Anyway, this is another recommend. Would I recommend this over Dandadan? No. Because it seems to be too short. And I can see how the heaviness of some text heavy pages can turn some people off, especially if they just want something that's very casual and little commitment. Because this will make you like, oh, so this is how, stones and shit work here. Then they're just fucking aliens and monsters, man. Aliens and ghosts. But if you're looking to read something new and you're already reading that, and as per my recommendation, this is a great choice. Next on the list is Ayashimon, which is starting to show more depth. The simple beat different shonen MC that's is analog. He's the same as fucking Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen. He has no spiritual powers in a world of magic, but he is fucking physically indomitable. This issue was slow, but not in a bad way. There weren't any fights, but this was a great chapter for character growth. Because our boy here, why do I keep forgetting these characters' names? I know it's been only like 10 or 11 chapters, but I should write them down. Our main boy here on the left is like, hey, we're family, we exchange whatever the cups are, where, the thing people do in Japan where they become quote unquote like blood family, blood brother. Something, like we're family now. We got each other's backs, and I want a tattoo like yours on your back, and the girl uses it. Why do I keep forgetting their names? This is a bonding chapter, basically. It was very enjoyable. The guy wanted his manga. He's been out cold for like 6 days or something, and he's just been reading manga afterwards. He's just laying there, reading manga and recovering. While it's not a teleporter, he's a shifter. He can shift or phase. The Walls guy has just been bringing them stuff that he stole from shops. But yeah, he just goes, hey, we family, give me this sick back tattoo. So I can further prove it to you that, this ain't just a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a fluke. It's not just a, like a one night stand. It's not a short term thing. Like, we in this together, baby. Overall, this is very enjoyable. If you just like fights, this is gonna be good. The art is good. I still want to see where it goes. And it seems that there's going to be more to it. Twitter meets the eye. It's Transformers. No, I'm kidding. But it's going to be more than just a physically strong guy walking up and beating the shit out of magical creatures. Because, he got his ass whooped in the previous chapter. Because he was out of his depth. Like, the guy he fought was an actual god. Not an actual god, but he was extremely strong. Very far off his league. Next bit is... Wait. What happened with my Reddit? Oi. Where did my preview go? Reddit? There we go. This is new, so I'm still struggling to remember saying the Kajiki chef. This is, imagine if you had One Piece, but Sanji was the main character, and instead of his legs, he used the magical cooking knife. That used to be a katana, what was broken down, it melted down into a cooking knife. That, it still transforms into like a magical knife. Basically, imagine if Sanji was a magical girl. The series. The art is very good. The story so far is... It's simple. Like, here's the thing about a lot of these stories. You don't have to do anything grandiose and out of this world and never heard before, yada yada yada. You just need to tell an entertaining story. And even if it's simple, if you execute excellently on the simple beats you've chosen, it can still be a great book. And this might be great, or it might be just something very entertaining, because the guy is a chef who kills these kaiju. They're called kaijiki here, but the kaiju, they're just monsters, like giant fish and whatnot, and salmon sharks. Because they have special properties, because they're monsters. And this girl I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but he's killing monsters to feed this girl you hear on the right, Iza. I need to write these characters' names down. I'm reading this so casually, I'm barely remembering these characters' names. Dan is my favorite series, I can't remember fucking Okarun's actual name. Anyway, new series, art is good. Story looks to be entertaining at the very least. I don't know if it's going to be mind blowing, but hey, being entertaining and pleasing to watch is good enough for me to follow this and buy it whenever it comes out on volumes. Speaking of volumes, I should have taken a picture, prepared a picture for this. I recently, and by recently I mean like literally 2 days ago, got my Kaiju 8 Volume 1 in the mail. It finally came to fucking Europe. Jesus fucking Christ, Amazon. I'm supposed to be here in October. Fix your fucking shit. Anyway, if you have good art and an entertaining story, that is enough for me to buy your shit when it comes out. Because right now I'm reading this for free on the Shueisha app, which everyone should have. If you're in the US where they have, or was it US, England, and a couple of other countries that have like the full license, $250 a month gives you the whole ass catalog. That means the whole of One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Dragon. You know this feel like fucking everything they've ever put out. Anyway, this is a recommend. If you're looking for something new to read and you're already reading everything else I recommend, you're like, I don't know what I want to read next. That stupid red-headed VTuber like, hey, you should read about, magical girl Sanji. Right, what is our next bit is Doron Dorororororororo. These names, man. Our guy manages to land. This is yet another another Yuji character who's like, oh, he's in a world of magic, but he's physically super strong. He just built different. Speaking of being built different, this time I remembered to prepare water, so I'm gonna take a couple of gulps. Water's so fucking good. Anyway, our main guy, I keep forgetting his name, manages to land a proper blow and actually summon forth magical. What's supernatural pressure? Spiritual, the equivalent of spiritual pressure. Come on. Onto this big bad who killed his mama. And would you know that the bigger, badder bad was inside the big bad? It was absolutely in a different galaxy power-wise, and our heroes, our main heroes, our characters, our boys and lady, are doing their best to not get absolutely one-shot. Doron is starting to shape up to be more interesting than I thought it would be, and I'm interesting to follow it. This is, again, you don't need to do too much for me to recommend your book. If you have good art, your story is entertaining and compelling, that's it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do the new One Piece or the new Berserk. God forbid people. If Berserk was a Western comic, people would be like, "Oh, I'm going to do my take on Berserk," and that's why they all fuck. Anyway, most of everything here that I usually talk about is recommended because when I see something too eye-rolly, I'm gonna be like, nah, dude. Like there were like a couple of DC comics, and I'm like, nah. I'm just gonna not even read those. I did roast a Spider-Man comic last week though, because that thing was fucking terrible and it deserved to get roasted. Anyway, Doron, if you're looking for something new to read, it only has a few chapters, and I think it's like 10-ish chapters, which is, an hour probably reading. Go check it out. It's on the Shueisha app yet again, for free. For fucking free. Next bit is Magi Lumiere yet again. I should probably get a proper a proper cover image instead of a backshot of one of the main characters. Kana is finally a magical girl, and in her debut she pulls off the mad lad move of landing not only the killing blow, but also making sure that her senior doesn't get into further danger. This is shaping up to be a very fun magical girl book, and I usually don't look at magical girl stuff because they usually take their time with the action, but this is action packed. This is a proper battle manga. I'm still interested to learn more about their magic system because they don't just wave wands and it's pure magic. It looks to be a mix of magic and tech because their magic brooms, as you can see in this image, are very techy. So are their outfits. So is their magic setup because they have like an inventory and they have like like an iPad. They're like reloading like magic ammo and shit. It's interesting at the very least. I forgot the blonde girl's name. And I purposefully read it a few times and be like, "Oh, okay, you gotta remember her name. I know this is like only 4 chapters in, but remember her name. Blonde girl is an absolute badass. She's a veteran. She's a prodigy. So she is pulling off moves that probably your regular magical girl in that universe wouldn't even try. But this is a recommend. The girls are cute. The designs are nice. The art is good. The president is fucking hilarious. And I like his whole view on what a startup should mean, both for its personnel, for its employees, and for the industry it's in as a whole. And it's very refreshing to see someone thinking forward like that, business-wise, even though it isn't, in a manga. But hey, if you want to check out some magical girl stuff, it's only 4 chapters in. It literally started off last week. It's coming out with like 2 chapters a week, which I've seen is a tactic for a lot of new series. Like they pump out a lot of quantity first, which still has quality, but they go deep. They go deep, balls deep at the very start, and then just start giving you only the tip after the first few weeks. It's a good tactic, but I hope it's not at the expense of the creator's health. Because if you're destroying yourself just so you can pump out 2 chapters a week for the first month, and then you're so regular you can't keep up with your quality afterwards, then I'm not for it. If it's done in a balanced and sustainable manner, I support this type of launch. This is a recommend. Go check it out. Shueisha app, or if you're in the peasant license region like I am, is the Manga Plus app. Our next item is, I already talked about it, Kaiju 8, but before that, some water. Kaiju 8 is yet another manga that is absolutely simple in its plot and its setup. It's kaiju fights. What the fuck do you want from kaiju fights? They're just grand and epic and the art is good. But this specific chapter was a slow one. People were like, hey, we had to bury our commander. Shit's whacked. Kaiju 8 is partially transforming, which we already seen. And we knew, but people finally figured it out, they saw it in the test and they're like, hey, part of this guy ain't coming back to being human. So we can't technically use him anymore. We can't use him no more, baby. So our gamer captain was like, hey, we can't keep you. Because you're a monster now. Like, part of you is like, oh, full-time monster. But we still want your help. We still want to kick some ass, baby. And of course we got a review at the end of the chapter, which was unexpected. It was good. I'm excited to see what happens next issue. I hope we are back to fighting monsters, because this is what it's all about. It's monsters fighting monsters. It's people in cool gear and weapons fighting monsters. I wish we had a Monster Hunter manga. And if we do, and I don't know about it, please correct me. I want to know. If there is a Monster Hunter manga out there, I want to read it, because I fucking love Monster Hunter. And like I mentioned before, I finally got the first volume. Is it volume? Did volume 6 just come out in Japan? Wow, Viz, get your shit together and translate this shit faster. No more printing delays. I was supposed to have this 4 months ago. Stop yanking my chain. Translate this shit faster. I don't want to be 5 volumes behind. Here's the thing though, I'm 5 volumes behind physical collection wise. I've been reading this since it came out, so I'm up to date, but I want to support this financially, because I don't know what this series having a whole bunch of free digital readers on the Shueisha app means for the series. So that's why whenever I like to see, woo, why am I annoying? Oh yeah, because my water is kind of cold. It's not even room temperature, it's a bit colder. So my stomach is pulling heat to warm itself up. Anyway, back on topic. There's a series I like that I'm waiting for free on the Stray Ship. Whenever the volumes come out, I will buy those. Support them financially, even though, you know, I, I don't know how the Viz Media and Shueisha thing works. Do they just buy the license? And regardless, if you like something, support it financially if you want to see more of it. Otherwise, you're just a fucking Twitter idiot. Next, we are heading into the comics, and we're back on the weekly release of Detective Comics. More water. I need to add the Tandyman to my playlist. Anyway, Batman Detective Comics. This has been a 12. Was it 12? I think it's like. No, it's not 12 issues. It's been 12 weeks. This fucking year hasn't been 12 weeks yet. Anyway, it's been a good 4? 6? It's been at least a month of weekly release of the same story, which I fucking love. I hate when comics are so strictly pushed into X amount of issues per story arc and per trade. Like, make the trade 200 and something pages, like the manga volumes are, and let it contain as many stories as it does. If it's like one story arc, then let it be one story arc. If it's like, 200 pages would be like, let's say 10 issues. If it's like 10 one shots that are like tied together into like a big arc that's coming up afterwards, let it be that. But don't just pigeonhole yourself in being like, oh, it has to be 6 issues because Herder Burr, because Brian Michael Mills or whatever the shit. Because whenever you write for the trade, you're like, oh, this story's like four issues, but I gotta pad out to 6. I can tell, and it gets boring, and I get hateful. I get real hateful. Anyway, the art is decent, like the typical DC house style. I would say DC house style rookie. Because I do see the guy needing a little bit more help with the line weights. I don't like art that doesn't have a lot of line weights to it. If it's like this dead thin, I know manga that often does this, but they still have line weights to it. Even though they usually use a thinner line that doesn't have as much deviation to its thickness. I still like my line weights. I still want to see them. And I don't like art styles that are like dead line weight. Anyway, back on this issue. The plot within, still good. It's good. I know Mariko Tamaki hasn't had the best track record with writing superhero comics, especially with me reading them. But the plot so far is good. This being the girl hour works because Batman ain't in Gotham. I've said this before, but the way it's set up, and that it's good to see that there's continuity. Is kept in mind that, hey, Batman. You know what? Screw this. Make me a Batman character. Batman isn't in Gotham, so this being literally everybody else works. Damon isn't in here because Damon's on an island. I don't know why Red Hood isn't here. Because he is there with Titans, which we'll talk about later. But the plot here is good. But, here's the big ass but. I have 2 issues with this. One is probably... Here's the thing though. All issues in American comics have weak and poor leadership. So whenever you blame someone, blame them for being stupid, not correcting whomever they have under them as a frontline soldier. And by that I mean like a writer, artist, colorist, yada yada yada. Because if your leader is like, hey, we want our women thick and curvy and absolutely drop dead gorgeous, And if your artist doesn't execute on that, either you weren't clear enough, or they're just too fucking stupid to read the instructions. Anyway, my issues with Detective Comics is that the main artist doesn't have a cover. The cover you see here is a is not a main artist. It's not even a variant cover. This is like their main cover. It's done by someone who's out on the interior. This is super close to false advertising. Technically, it is spiritually, but not technically and legally. Because when I see this, and I ask my shop, hey, is this like the main cover? And they're like, oh yeah. And if you're a comic buyer, you know that the main cover is the same artist inside. And when I open it inside, even if it's the same art quality or even better, there's always going to be disappointment because it's not what I was told to expect. This is stupid. Stop fucking doing this, DC. The other part is the dialogue. Oh my god, dude. The dialogue. Why are women talking like idiot here? There are a handful of moments where they're making a statement, but there's a question mark at the end. Like, oh my god, I don't even remember it. There was like Batwoman was making a statement, but she ended like a question. Like, I'm going there to investigate, question mark. And I'm like, why is that a fucking question, Kane? Kate Kane, why is that a question? Why are you posing that as a question? It was there like 4 or 5 times. I don't know if that's a lettering issue, or just Mariko Tamaki does know how to write dialogue for like hyper competent and confident women. And you all know how feminists write women; they write them like absolute cunts. But so far, this has been better than her previous issues. No, it's not. It hasn't been better than her previous issues. Because they were always like, why is it like simple and like passable, nothing special? Which you don't have to do in order to keep your job in comics. You just need to sell. You know, you can have an argument that special sells and like mediocre, like eh. But here's the thing though, Batman sells, and this is Batman, and it's a weekly release, it's going to sell. But the big marking point that I'm going to be looking for is how she ties this arc up. How it ends, because our previous 2 arcs ended horribly. It was not executed poorly, and again, I'm going to put the blame at the feet of the editors. Assistant editor, associate editor, group editor, editor-in-chief, like all y'all sons of bitches. Where are you? Do your fucking job and edit this woman. She has good ideas that can keep this company not successful, but hey, she will not be among the reasons for failure. If you coach her more and if you guide her better, she can actually be a positive asset to the company. So do your fucking jobs before I come and take them. Next up is something that came out of nowhere, because I saw it and I was like, Titans United kind of looks stupid. But this is a miniseries. It's a 7-issue miniseries. I read this one. It was actually fun. The art is again the DC House art style. That again could need some more line weights. This is my preference. I like more line weights in the art. If they're thin, they should still be there. This came out of nowhere. And this is, like the cover shows, it's this great big fight. Most of the issues, like people fighting Blackfire and whatnot, and you know, her cronies and Superboys. It was fun, man. Like, there was some good banter. I enjoyed this, and I'm disappointed at myself that I missed 5 issues of this. I mean, I can go back and read them, but I missed talking about this. For who? Who is that? Is that a porn star? It better be. I have no clue who that woman is. Then again, I don't follow celebrities that much. Back on topic. Titans United is an actual recommend. Like, DC actually gave me a Titans book that I can enjoy. And I'm disappointed at myself for not picking this up earlier. I will be picking this up in trade because, as you've heard me talk about it before, I have limited space here. And I can't be stacking up issue upon issue upon issue in singles, so trade it is. Also, comics are too fucking expensive for what they offer because 7 issues is going to be 150 something pages for like 18 or 20 bucks. DC. For 20 bucks, I can buy 2 manga. If I'm lucky and I have discounts and they are all volume 1s, probably 3 volume 1s, which is a total of 600 and anywhere from 660 to 680 pages. So, money wise, if you're a frugal spender, if you like spending your money wisely, but you still like reading books, building a library, and collecting books, this is a trade route. This is for the trade route. Very few times will I recommend a single issue. You buying something in singles. If you like the covers, too bad. Buy the trade and find a way to buy prints or something. And I think this is... Oh no, this is not it. I think this is the last one. The best Marvel comic of the last few years is not even made by Marvel. This is a licensed manga. Deadpool Samurai. Basically, Deadpool becomes an Avenger in the Japanese branch of the Avengers. He meets this original character, Sakura Spider, who has a very cute design. And this is the best action comic Deadpool I've seen in fucking years. Like, the only thing that's second to this, that's even close to this, is the first Deadpool movie. I think the second one wasn't as strong, but the first one was very strong. And compared to like the Deadpool comics that have been coming out in the past 5 years or so, this absolutely shits on them. How can they do this so much better than the original creator? Like, the House of Ideas can't do their fucking job and have ideas. But hey, this is finally out by Viz Media. It's a manga style and a manga format. The manga storytelling. It's basically a manga with a licensed character, and it's absolutely amazing. This is Deadpool done right. It's an absolute recommend. Go pick this up. And I think that's, yeah, we're back to Trojan X. And this was it for this week's The Good, the Bad, and Ugly in comics and manga. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got a few recommendations that you're going to check out right the fuck now. I've been Bolander, and I will see you guys. Wait, it's Thursday. Probably later tonight if I manage to stream our drawing with Cola, if we manage to draw. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow night, where we're going to be doing our Nerd News wrap up with Michael Dean and Cola over on his channel, on my channels, where we will be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the things we've watched, which will include the anime and the regular shows, like 3D shows, you know, like the Book of Boba Fett, which is in all actuality Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 0.123, and yada yada yada. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and upvote, and I'll see you guys next time.